pass on that.
Yeah.
Would
Okay,
that be the view even on, say, a Jubilant Foodworks spent force now?
Well, I shouldn't say spend force because these companies have delivered in the market, and these companies deliver quarter on quarter for the results. But would I be comfortable buying them at 10,000 crore plus market cap? No, the answer is no. But would I be comfortable buying an e-commerce play or buying an online play at some market cap? Yeah, I would be, because the future is there. I mean, a lot of young generation moves online completely. I mean, they buy bottled water in America online. So, I mean, this is a long way to go in India too.
Is there any unlisted place that you have taken interest in this space, e-commerce? Because there's not too many in the listed space.
Not really, not at this point. But, a lot of them in the unlisted space, in terms of the Flipkarts of the world, the Snapdeals of the world, I mean, their valuations don't make any sense to me. So there are better ways to find it in the listed space, I would suggest to you.
Okay, I totally agree with you when you say that sometimes we underestimate our own positives, because sometimes the foreign guys have more faith in the Indian markets than we do. We're seeing it in a lot of these MNCs who are coming and hiking their stakes in Indian subsidiaries.
Absolutely.
This morning as well, our colleague was telling us about how Nestle might do the same.
Right.
Do you think for the longer term, this is a space that you could bet on? Say, there's Maruti, there is Nestle, there's the GSK Pharmas of the world. Is that a space that you will look at?
I have had those stocks in my portfolio for years and years, almost unchanged in the portfolio. So, and I think that's the ultimate sign of confidence that these people, Vivo will come and pay, 40 times forward, or Nestle will come pay 50 times forward and, increase the stake in the company. I mean, it's hard to see if they're so bullish. Why would we be so bearish on these companies? And as you said, one of the great, disappointments in my life is the Indian public, doesn't come and buy. But typically I think they will come and buy when you start making money. And now that you start making money in cash, rather than just promising that, oh, this India is going to be this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I think the public will come and buy. I think the pendulum is now finally tipping back. You're not making money in real estate, you're not making money in gold, and people investing in equity are making money. So that will prompt them to come back.
These MNC stocks you were talking about, can you speak of some of them? I mean, today Nestle hit, or at least it looks like it's more a news that, a source-based news that we have picked up. Is that something you can elaborate on? I mean,
I've been a long-time holder of, say, something like Hindustan Lever, and I was one of the few people who didn't tender in the option. Personally, I did not tender any of the shares. Because, I've always believed the basic Warren Buffett theory that you don't buy a stock or a price, you buy a piece of a business, and you want to hold that to, a certain degree of maturity. And clearly, I don't think Hindustan Lever's best days are behind it. I mean, this is a company that, is addressable to the Indian market, has a 50 years experience in the Indian market, and as the consumer middle class rapidly expands in India, they are well positioned to do well. So just because the stock gets ahead of its earnings, or just because the stock gets, and again, look at the lunacy in the market. I mean, at 600 rupee open offer price, you could have tendered any amount of Hindustan Lever share and Lever would have taken the whole thing because it's undersubscribed. And yet, 2 months after the offer closes, it's trading below 600. It makes no sense to me. You could have sold it at 600. Why are you selling at 550 today? But that's the way of the markets, Lata.
Okay. Well, the other sector I wanted to speak to you about, or theme, export theme. Arvind has done very well, and clearly 1 year down the line, the rupee makes Indian exporters very attractive. Do you play any of that as a theme, say either Arvind or, for that matter, the auto ancillaries? Bharat Forge, Bharat Forge I think tripled in maybe 4-5 months.
Unfortunately, I concentrate on, say, the FMCG basket, the liquor basket, the technology basket, the logistics basket. I'm really not one up on textiles. A lot of my friends tell me that they are cheap, and because of the rupee depreciation, they're doing well. And I think they will do well over the next few years, but it's not my strong suit.
And is United Spirits your strong suit?
Absolutely, we love to have it. Something after drinks. No, it'll do
Is
well.
that the only drink you have?
No, but it's done so much for investors. I mean, whoever gotten at the right time. Is there more to go, you think?
I think so. I mean, FMCG companies don't trade at one-time sales, which is what United Spirits is right now. And I think the market, in my opinion, will give it a long rope. That even if the results don't come in for the next 2-3 quarters, or even the next 1.5 years, because Diageo will clean up the balance sheet, they're having some trouble getting the sales organization in place, I think market will give it an extremely long rope. I think, barring any regulatory fiat that I'm not aware of right now, where something happens to the sale, I think the market will give it extremely long rope. I mean, typically these companies traded at 4 times, 5 times sales. So once you figure out what the sales are, you'll know what the valuations will be. So I would give it a long rope. I would not be in a hurry to sell it.
Okay, I just wanted to pick up on one point you were making earlier about, why retail investors have some sort of a distrust in this market. Perhaps one reason could be the regulatory issues that we've had. Now, a lot of these PSU, cash-rich PSUs are now being forced to sort of get into cross-holdings, etc., use their cash for buying stake in other PSUs. So the Coal India's, NMDC, some of these companies have been doing quite well. Do you think that this is a pocket that you would completely stay away from, or would you use it to, or have you bought in any of them?
No, I wouldn't stay away. I bought a lot of PSUs, I made a lot of money in my times in PSU shares. Again, it's a bottom-up stock picking approach. I mean, this is way before in the markets, maybe in 97, 98, you could get, say, a company like Bharat Electronics, the Caliber, one of the leading defense players in India. It was available at 30 rupees with a 2 rupee dividend built into the company. And the stock's now, after a huge correction, is still at $1,000. So you made 30 times your money in a period of 10 years. So you buy these PSUs cheap, a stock that I've owned for a number of years recently, not years, but a number of quarters now, is NBCC. It's a PSU. I think they're doing very well in Delhi real estate development.
You're not saying BHEL?
Huh?
You're not saying BHEL?
Again, as a stock pick, I tend to pick the smaller stocks more easily than BHL. So I'm not completely, familiar with BHL at the current time.
So you were saying NBCC and which else?
The NBC is a good example of something I bought. It, it came out with IPO at 100 rupees. It's about 160 right now. Market cap of about 1,800 crores, maybe 1,000 crores cash sitting in there. And a number of exciting projects rolling out over the next 2 to 3 years, where the cash flow and the visibility is pretty straightforward. So, it seems like a good, good, clean, relatively uncomplicated business to buy, and I happen to own it.
Good, clean, uncomplicated, all those adjectives don't apply to real estate. You never look at that space.
NBC is a real estate company, Lata, so they are into real estate out there. Do I look at real estate? Yes.
They're more into construction.
The construction, but also they're developing, like in places like Mehroli, Kidwai Nagar, they're also developing, putting their own money and developing properties themselves. So, you have to look at the balance sheet size and look at the size of the opportunity that the company is giving. Do I look in real estate? Yes, I have a large investment for a number of years in Godrej Properties. It hasn't done well, to be honest with you. But, see, as I was mentioning earlier, I mean, you can't look at these. I think people make a huge mistake trying to look at the market in terms of the next quarter and next year. Look at what happened to, say, a huge bank in India, and how much they've gone over. There's a Kotak or HDFC Bank. If you had bought it at the right time, you saw a great brand name getting pricing power and establishing itself. The property market is unorganized. It will move to organized. When it moves to organized, it's going to go with a great brand name. What are the great brand names? Who are the people you would trust? Who would have pricing power? I think the names like Godrej just come up. So I think over time, I think they will do well. I can't say they'll do well over the next 3 months, 6 months, but I am not investing for that. I'm suggesting that we should all invest for the next 3 years, 5 years, for a cycle when the real estate cycle picks up, when interest rates come down. These are well-positioned businesses to take advantage of that cycle.
You never invested in Reliance?
Actually, it's one of the stocks I have not. It was a great place to be in 2003, but
it's okay. You didn't miss much. Nothing happened in the last 7 years.
But last 5 years, 2003 to 8, it did very well, and it's a great benchmark stock. Unfortunately, I have not really been a part of it.